Hello there and welcome to my garden. I want to ask you, what is it that you judge? We are human beings, we judge all the time, and the only path to healing is what I want to share with you today. But we need to speak about judgment because judgment is what helps to keep us really stuck. We judge ourselves very harshly. We judge each other. We judge situations, places, people, and things. Nothing escapes. There are times when it's useful to judge, when driving a car or crossing the road, following a recipe, designing a building. But you have no doubt been on the receiving end of someone's judgment or criticism, and you know how awful it was. Why do we judge? We judge because we feel insecure or have low self-esteem. We want to make ourselves feel better, so we put somebody else down. We judge because we were raised in an environment of judgment. We are familiar and used to judgmental conversation. You may hear the little voice in your head might be something that you recognize from your parents. Some people judge to cover a sense of self-loathing or simply not being good enough. They have unreasonably high standards for themselves and everyone else and are highly critical of everything and everyone. Are you that person, or do you know someone like that? Sometimes we judge to make ourselves feel superior. We compare ourselves with other people, with other situations, and we make ourselves into a better person because we're judging. We feel better about ourselves. We're covering up our own hurt feelings and that sense of inadequacy. Sometimes we judge for control. We can't control anything outside there, but if we are able to judge something else, we feel as if we're manipulating something or controlling it in some way. If we're feeling insecure or unhappy about how life is unfolding, we attack other people to make sense of what's going on for ourselves. Sometimes we judge out of embarrassment. We feel awkward about a situation and therefore we will judge or criticize what's going on. We often judge when we don't understand. Sometimes we judge because we're jealous of a situation, we're jealous of a person, jealous of what they have, and we judge as if, well, I don't really want that anyway, it's a bad thing to have. But we're judging because we're feeling jealous of somebody else. We're envious of what they have. Judgmental people often feel they're right. I'm right. And we dismiss other people's points of view. We can get defensive or aggressive. And sometimes judgment is part of following a tribe, following a group, being part of a community. We all want that sense of belonging. And sometimes if we're in a group situation, it can be easy to get into the beliefs and the stories of this group are right and everybody else is wrong. There's a lot of that going on the planet right now. The problem is that we are all after this sense of loving and belonging. We all have a sense of home, and it is not outside of us. When we judge, we're in our heads, and we can drop from our head to our heart. When we do that, then what happens is we feel our feelings. And when we're present to our feelings and present to the emotions, we can release the story that's driving it all. Those feelings of powerlessness, those feelings of envy, jealousy, upset, hurt, all of those feelings that drive judgment. And as that happens, when we are in the presence of what's true for us, we can reclaim the source of our power, our inner strength, which arises from our connection to the oneness, whatever that might mean for you. It's not easy to do alone, but awareness is the key and compassion is its sister. These two walk together because without awareness, without seeing what's going on, there's no chance of healing. But when awareness alone opens the doors, there's plenty of judgment that's available to walk in. judgment and criticizing and beating yourself up with a big stick, particularly if you're someone who's done some of this kind of work and you know what you should be doing, you know what would be helpful to you, you know the path of healing, you know what brings you joy, and yet you find yourself back in the same old of a pattern. It's easy to beat ourselves up, to give ourselves a hard time. And what I'm suggesting is awareness can open doors. Don't let further judgment in. Compassion is essential on this journey. Gently pat yourself on the chest and take a deep breath when you catch yourself and say, "How very human of me," and let it go. Be your own best friend as you walk on this journey. There is no healing in judgment. It's like picking at scabs. But awareness and compassion are the path through. I'll see you next time.